Hi, and welcome to Wendy Rae's Idol Recap. Can you believe we are at the end of the season? I cannot believe it's over. The time has just gone by so fast. Before we get started, I want to talk about previous seasons and kind of my take on those. Season number 6, I was huge Team Jordan. I did not like Blake at all and was thrilled that Jordan won. Then the next year, the David and David year, I was a David Cook fan. I actually became a David Cook fan after Amanda Overmeyer got the boot. But I really loved David Cook. David Archuleta got on my nerves a little bit because all of his songs sounded the exact same, kind of like Bob Seger. I still liked him, and I actually thought he was going to win, but I still loved David Cook and voted like crazy for him during the finale. Last year, I loved Adam from the very beginning, from the first time I met him. Like I met him personally, the first time I saw him, I guess I should say. Oops. And I loved him all the way through the season. And then I started to love Chris, and Chris kind of grew on me. So to be honest with you, I was okay with either one of them winning. I was leaning towards Adam, and I voted for him. But I was good that Chris won and happy about that as well. Which brings us to this season. And as the progression of the seasons have gone and my feelings towards the contestants, it is no surprise that I love Crystal and Lee the exact same. To the point that I couldn't even vote last night because I love them so much, I couldn't decide who to vote for. I think that they're both amazing artists. I think that they're both going to have great careers. And either one wins tonight, I'm totally good with it. Now, I'm going to tell you about when we first met them. We met them on the road to Hollywood. That was the Oops episode because they had scheduled too many shows for the season, and we saw Lee and Crystal together. They showed them together, both with their guitars draped over their shoulders, walked in kind of singer-songwriter-ish. I said that I loved Lee's raspy voice and that I loved Crystal. I thought she was really good. I even called them a nice surprise. What's funny to me is that they were grouped together on the road to Hollywood, and then here they are in the finale grouped together again. Now, they started the show with Lee and Crystal coming down the aisles, and Lee looked like he had it completely together. You know, he was coming down the aisle and was all swag and cool, and Crystal looked like a mess, dropping her microphone, running around, running backwards, running forwards. It was kind of crazy. But they finally make it up to the stage safely, thank goodness. I was really worried about Crystal. And they are announced as your top finalists. Lee starts off the night, and they first show a little montage of his cute pictures of when he was playing baseball. What a precious and darling little child. And then he goes into singing the Boxer, which was one of his good performances this season. I don't think it was the best Lee performance, but I'm going to tell you why. I think that this whole huge venue and all of those people really got the best of Lee. And I think he was just too nervous. He was off-key a lot of the song, and I felt really bad for him. Simon compared it to a kiss on the cheek versus a kiss on the mouth. And then he said, "Oh, but I don't want you to kiss me on the mouth, Lee." Whatever, Simon. We know you got a crush on him, and you want a big old sloppy one. Next up was Crystal Bowersock. She sang Me and Bobby McGee, and this is the Crystal I love. I've missed this Crystal over the last couple of weeks, and I was happy to have her back. I loved the performance. I thought it was amazing. I will tell you the funny part was, and I'll try not to sing because it'll make you want to vomit, but the part where she goes, na-na-na, na-na-na, na-na, my son goes, "Mom, she's forgotten the words." I really thought that I had raised him better than that, and he knew better music, but he had no clue that that was part of the song, and I thought that was kind of precious and darling. But Crystal rocked it. Round 1 to Crystal. Round 2 was the executive producer's choice. And for Lee, they chose Everybody Hurts. And I thought that this was going to be amazing. I thought that he was going to pull it together, and this is where he was really going to shine. But again, he didn't. I just wanted more for him. He seemed to be off key. And again, I just think that it's the nerves, deer in the headlights up there on the stage. And even Simon pointed that out as well. And then Simon tells him, you really need to step it up next round and you need to get a 10 out of 10, which I don't think Lee did Lee any justice because there he is already nervous. Don't put more pressure on the poor kid. So I just felt terrible for him. I wanted to give him a big hug. It has nothing to do with how cute he is. I just wanted to give him a big hug, I swear. Then Crystal came out singing Black Velvet, and I thought that this was also going to be a fabulous performance because I thought that it fit her voice really well. She comes out, stands at the top of the stage, and she's got that black dress on that was way too tight and did not fit her at all. Now, if you've seen Steel Magnolias, you'll understand this quote. It looked like two pigs fighting under a blanket. I mean, it was awful, dreadful. But what are you going to do? She wore it, and that's all I can say about that. I don't think this song was that great either. This was not my typical Crystal that I love. She seemed to scream the whole song. Now, of course, she screamed it on key, and her voice sounded beautiful, but it was almost like she'd been taking lessons from Siobhan, and that's not Crystal, and so I wasn't a big fan of it. In fact, I was a little bit surprised that the judges loved it as much as they did. So round 2 was not as clear cut to me as round 1, and I couldn't pick a winner, so I'm just going to call that one a draw. Round 3, very weird to me. In the previous seasons, the contestants have sang the same song that they're going to release if they win. And this season, they're singing someone else's song, and I think that's a little bit bizarre. Now, I get it. You want to sing a song that's going to fit your voice since this is your final performance on Idol. However, couldn't they have given them some original songs instead of stealing somebody else's songs for them to release? I thought that was a little weird. And I actually really would prefer them to bring back that songwriters contest. I think that they're going to get some much better songs out of that. And don't let Kara write anymore, because that was a disaster last year, if you remember that one that Chris Allen released. That was pitiful. But Lee starts it off and does U2's Beautiful Day. And again, I'm thinking, all right, Lee, this is it. This is your chance. Redeem yourself. And he doesn't. And again, I just think he couldn't get a hold of his nerves. It was kind of all over the place. And actually, I think that Randy and Ellen gave him kudos, because I think they felt so bad for him. And I don't even think Simon knew what to say, because he really didn't give him any critique. He just talked about how this show was good for him. And I wrote down exactly what he said. He goes, "I generally wish the best for you," which almost to me was a slap in the face, like, Lee, you blew it. But that's just my opinion. Then Crystal was up, and she sang Up to the Mountain, which I had never heard before, but she did an amazing job. Wow. I mean, it was tremendous, and I love that that's the way we're going to close out the competition rounds on American Idol for Season 9, because it was awesome. The judges loved it. Of course they did, and it was nice that Simon got to do a good critique for his final critique of his career with American Idol, which, again, very sad. I also liked the year in review that they did, the little slideshow. We got to see some of our favorites from the past episodes. We got to see Vanessa. Remember the I'm going to get on an aeroplane and go to Hollywood. I loved her. We got to see a couple of the crazies that made us laugh. So that was a lot of fun. And I really like that guy, Will Young. Leave Right Now. I love that song. I'm going to go download it on my iPod as soon as we finish. I'm telling you. I also like that the contestants came up and gave their support to Crystal and Lee. I even saw Aaron giving Crystal a big hug. Thought that was really precious. Who's going to win? Who knows? Based on the performance, it should be Crystal. Crystal really rocked it last night, and she deserves the title. But will she win? Lee's got a huge following. He's got a lot of fans. He's got the girl vote because they think he's hot. And the other thing is, in previous seasons, as you know, when the judges bash the contestant, the public seems to vote harder for them. It happened to David Cook and David Archuleta. The judges were not real thrilled with David Cook. In fact, Simon even said during the finale, he said, "You know what, I was disrespectful to you last night. You did better than I thought you did." And then David Cook won when everybody thought David Archuleta had it. So you never know. Lee could pull this out, but I really do think that Crystal deserves the title, and I will be a little bit disappointed now if she doesn't get it, because I think that based on the performances last night, she deserves to win. But we will see. I cannot wait till tonight. I'm so excited. 2 hours. I told my family I'm not cooking. We're going to get some takeout and just sit and watch the entire episode, so I don't have to get up and do dishes or anything. So I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to meet you back here tomorrow to discuss the end of Season 9. Hugs, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.